I welcome you all to the next session on Introduction to Vishistadvaita. Asmat Guru Paramparaye Namaha. Om Apyayantu Mamangani Vak Pranaschakshushrotramatho Balamindriyani Cha Sarvani Sarvam Brahmopanishadam Maham Brahma Nirakuryam Mama Brahma Nirakarod Anirakaranamastu Anirakaranam Estu Tadatma Nirate Upanishadsu Dharmaha Te Mai Santu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. In the previous class we had briefly taken a look at the Bhakti Yoga, which is one of the means to liberation prescribed in the Vedas. So we just do a recap briefly, then continue. So a Bhakti Yoga, for all these Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Prapatti and all that, a very important aspect is giving up the idea of ownership and attachment. Mamata Tyaga, Sangat Tyaga, Kartritva Tyaga, all this they have to be given up. And a Bhakti Yogi, a seeker, realizes he is an instrument in the hands of Lord. He will be very sure that Vasudeva, the Supreme Self, is getting all this done. He enjoys bliss in every service done lovingly to the Lord. He sees Paramatman in every entity and will act favorably to all. And his love towards Vasudeva flows in different ways, and that is expressed in different ways as worshipping, praying, singing, chanting his names, etc. Nama Sankirtana, Kirtana, Yatana, Pradakshina, and all these acts. And such a devotee melts thinking about the wonderful qualities of the Lord, remembering the names of the Supreme Lord. He experiences horripilation. He offers himself completely at the service of the Lord. He realizes the entire world is subservient to Vasudeva, Sriman Narayana. For such bhakti to be steady and for it to grow, the knowledge of the nature of self and Paramatman are very necessary. That is the reason why Krishna tells Arjuna about all his vibhutis and yoga, his wonderful glories and qualities, how he controls everything by mere sankalpa. Paramatman controls everything. So he tells all that in detail to Arjuna. And about Bhakti Vidya, Bhakti Yoga, Sri Krishna himself praises Bhakti Yoga as Raja Vidya, Rajaguhyam. It is like a king among the Vidyas, or means to all the means that are told in the Vedas. Bhakti Yoga is like a king. And Rajaguhyam, it is the most rahasya, paramarahasya, Rajaguhyam, that which has to be kept secret. This is the supreme among them. And Pavitram, it purifies everyone. And Uttamam Pavitram, the utmost purifier. Pratyaksha, it helps one to realize the Supreme directly, to perceive the Supreme directly. Dharmyam, it is on the path of Dharma. Everything told in the Veda is Dharma. Susukham, it is most enjoyable during the state of performance itself, most enjoyable. Susukham kartum avyayam, and it remains forever while he is performing Bhakti Yoga, a seeker, he will have utmost devotion and it's most blissful to him during the state of Upasana itself. and it will continue forever in liberation also. Bhakti never reduces any time. It only grows throughout forever. And though Bhakti Yoga is said to be the means, it is ultimately the grace of the Lord which will grant us the ultimate goal. The Lord, who is pleased by the Bhakti Yoga, by the love of the devotee towards him, will grant him the moksha, will grant him himself ultimately. So when Paramatman is pleased only with the undiluted love of the devotee, he reveals himself to him. So declare the Upanishads very clearly. So it is generally accepted that jnana is the means to liberation. Jnana moksha is accepted by everyone. And jnana is not mere scriptural knowledge. It is meditative knowledge. So bhakti is also a type of knowledge only. It's also a kind of knowledge. Love towards the Lord is also a kind of knowledge only. But it is loving devotional knowledge. It is not mere scriptural knowledge. So that is the difference between scriptural knowledge and meditative knowledge, loving devotional knowledge. That is told as Paravidya in Mundakopanishad. Aparavidya is scriptural knowledge. Paravidya is Upasana, Bhakti Yoga. Mere scriptural knowledge cannot lead to direct perception of Brahman. So it is only the loving meditative knowledge that can lead to liberation. Continuous, conscious, and steady meditation on the divine auspicious form and the qualities of the Supreme Lord with great devotion will only make His grace come towards us. He will be pleased with that. So it is not possible to explain the nature of bhakti as it can only be known by experience. And even karma yoga, jnana yoga need bhakti. Bhakti is needed for everything. Love towards the Supreme. Mahaniya vishaye pritihi bhaktihi ityabhidhiyate. The Narada Bhakti Sutra. In order for a seeker to perfect bhakti, there are some preparations needed. And these are to be carried on throughout till the fruit is realized. These are called sadhana saptakas. 7 means needed for a bhakti yoga. The means of bhakti yoga itself needs a seeker to inculcate all these things in order to gain that kind of a concentration and love towards the Lord. These are all very necessary. Shankaracharya talks of 4 sadhana chatushtaya. Ramanujacharya, based on his earlier acharya's works, he explains there are 7 sadhanas that are required. Sadhana saptakas, they are called. One is viveka. Viveka is purity of the body by consuming food without any defect. That is satvik ahara, satvika ahara. One has to consume satvika ahara. It is very clearly told in the Chandogya Upanishad that food has the subtle part of the food that we consume has an effect on the mind. Annamayam hi somya. Annamayam hi somya. Annamayam hi somya manaha. So manas is directly influenced, mind is influenced by food that we consume, the subtle part of the food. And vimoka is control of the senses. Control of the senses. And abhyasa, repeated thinking of the divine auspicious form of the Lord. It's a very important thing. Kriya is performing the ordained duties of one's station in life, varna, ashrama, dharmas. Shaktitaha, Ramanujacharya says, as per based on their capacity. Kalyana, inculcating good qualities, Atma Gunas they are called, Satya, Arjava, Himsa, like that. These are all very important for a seeker to have. Anavasada, not getting depressed. Anudharsha, not getting overjoyed. Because these can bind one into karma, other activities. Something happens if I am very depressed, I would like to avoid that and I would think of doing something to avoid that in future. That means my mind has got diverted somewhere else. Similarly, if I am overjoyed because I got some benefit by doing some work, I will try to do again and again the same thing to get more such joy, which again distracts me from the bhakti yoga, from my meditation. So these are all to be anavasada should be there. One should not get depressed, should not get too much grief, and one should not get overjoyed also. So these are all to be practiced regularly right from the beginning for a bhakti yogi till it reaches fruition. Till that time it is required. So these are called sadhana saptakas. And Srimad Bhagavata tells how bhakti grows. Shravanam kirtanam Vishnoho smaranam vandanam tata archanam vandanam dasyam sakhyam atmanivedanam. So these are all the Navavida Bhakti is told. It starts with Shravana, ends in Atmanivedana. That is, we listen to Acharya's teachings of the Shruti, Vakyas and all that, the meanings of that. Then slowly there are different stages of bhakti, how it develops. Finally it ends in Atmanivedana, offering the bhakti yogi offers himself to the Lord with so much devotion, love. He doesn't want anything else. He wants only to attain the Lord. He is not interested in any other benefit. So that is how bhakti grows, the different stages of bhakti. In general, the steps in bhakti yoga are like this. There is a general devotion, bhakti, samanya bhakti. This comes by scriptural knowledge, satsang, etc. One gets bhakti, love towards the Lord. There is Supreme Lord. He is the creator of the world. He is endowed with most supreme auspicious qualities. He is devoid of any defect. And he is very, very compassionate. When we think of all these qualities in such a supreme person, we tend to bow down in reverence and love. And that is general devotion. And then one gets a desire to know the nature of the Supreme Bhagavan in more detail to get, and then he wants to get deliberated. So how do I avoid this grief completely? The samsara is full of grief only. It leads, whatever we experience, happiness here is very meager, limited. And it is not eternal and it is not incomparable. There is a degree of different levels of happiness here itself we see. There is no person who is fully satisfied with whatever one gets. Always we look at a better happiness, more happiness, things like that. So there is the ultimate is to get rid of this samsara completely. We can get eternal bliss, which is never ending and unparalleled. Niratishaya, Nitya, Ananda. That is the state of moksha. So when one gets a desire to get liberated, this is very important. Mumukshutva. If I am not interested in getting liberated, I will not even think about karma yoga or bhakti yoga or prapatti or anything. There are no means. So I'll be interested only in worldly benefits and I'll perform means to attain them only. Only those who are interested in liberation are qualified for this bhakti yoga or prapatti. So he then resorts to karma yoga to start with, because bhakti yoga cannot be started without realization of self. Through karma yoga, the mind becomes pure. By continuous practice of Karma Yoga, one achieves eligibility to move to Jnana Yoga, or one may directly realize the self. At the end of the Karma Yoga, all the obstructions to attaining, to realizing the nature of the individual self, they are eliminated with the grace of the Lord. There also one has to surrender unto the Lord and pray to the Lord to eliminate all the obstructions to performance of the Karma Yoga, and Lord will grant him that. And he will realize the nature of the individual self as different and distinct from the body, and in the pure state he is never undergoing any modification, avikari, and due to some karma only we have caught in this samsara. All these things that we are doing here is not really in our nature. So I am different and distinct from the body. Because of the association of the body, I am doing all these things. In my real nature, these are all not there. When I don't have any association with matter, I don't have this kind of a body or senses or mind or anything. None of these things will be there. Eating, sleeping, and all is not there for a Atma. He is Jnana Swarupa. He is a spiritual entity. So, with that knowledge, when you perform karma continuously, after some stage, the knowledge itself becomes prominent. The karma becomes like more a mechanical thing. And at the end of that, it leads to realization of the nature of the self as completely subservient to the Supreme Self and different and distinct from the body. And just like in my body, my Atman is different and distinct. In all other bodies also, it is the same thing. The seeker realizes that all these things are different stages of karma yoga. That can also be called jnana yoga. Towards the end, he can stop the karma which he is doing for the purpose of karma yoga and start meditating on the individual self while performing the daily duties. Nitya Naimitika karmas cannot be given up by anyone. And Jnana Yoga can be taken as a separate stage, or Karma Yoga itself will lead to realization of the self. This is explained in great detail in Bhagavad Gita, and it is a prerequisite to Bhakti Yoga. One has to realize the nature of the individual self, and the nature of subservience to the Lord is the most important aspect there. Then one will want to attain the Lord. So there is a story told here in this context by all the acharyas that a king's son, young boy, gets lost on the way when they go to the forest for hunting, etc. And the king is there, they are not able to find the boy because he is very playful and he gets lost somewhere in the forest. And they return very sad. And then that boy is found by a hunter there, taken to his house, and he looks after him, and that boy grows in the hunter's house along with other his children, and he thinks he is a hunter only. After a long time, there are some ministers and others who are passing on the way. They see this boy and they know the characteristics of a prince. By looking at the face and other things, it is possible, there is all shastras for that. Hasta Samudrika Lakshana, Samudrika Shastra it's called. So they identify this boy has all characteristics of a prince. So he is not a hunter. So they inquire and the hunter says, yes, I found this boy in the forest and I am looking after him and all that. Then they tell the boy that you are not a hunter, you are actually a princess, a prince. So your father is there and he is a king and he is in a palace and he has all the riches and everything. And all that, when he knows that his nature is like that, he is actually a prince and he will want to go and reach his father and enjoy all the riches there and all the enjoyments and everything. So in the same way, The Jivatman is lost in this samsara, thinking that he is a deva, or he is a manushya, he is a pashu or a pakshi or an animal or whatever it is. The body, based on the whatever body one gets, they start thinking that the body itself is the self, dehatma brahme, and start acting according to that. Like the prince started thinking he is a hunter. The Jivatma thinks I am a man, I am a human, I am a things like that. I am a god or I am a whatever it is. Start acting according to that body, and they get caught in this samsara again and again. When an acharya, they come into contact with an acharya, acharya teaches that you are not the body, and you are entirely distinct and different from the body. You have come into connection, contact with the body because of your earlier karmas. The fruits of the karma you have to experience. If you go and seek the Lord, surrender unto Him or meditate upon Him, you can actually reach Him. He is the Father of everyone. He is the Patim Vishwasya, Upanishad says. He is the Lord of everyone. We are all subservient to Him. So it is our duty, in our nature, that we have to serve our Lord and enjoy all the bliss. Go and reach Him there. He is in Vaikuntha, where there is only pure bliss. There is no grief at all there. And you can enjoy unparalleled bliss. And as per your nature, you can do all the service to the Lord. When this is taught, then we will think about how to attain that. What is the means to attain that? Then the Acharya teaches Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Prapatti, and all that. So that is how the story is related. By Yankaracharya also relates in a different way. Ramanujacharya, according to their schools of thought. And so this is the first step, is to know that I am not a man, I am not a human. It is only the body. I am different and distinct from the body. That is the first thing to know. And then only we can know that I am subservient to the Supreme Lord. And then we want to attain Him. So then the deep desire to attain Him comes, mumukshutva, and to do service to Him. Then the seeker meditates upon the Supreme devotedly, lovingly. Such love is called Bhakti Yoga. And the Lord, the Supreme Lord Vasudeva, is pleased with that devotion. He reveals Himself to him and takes him to Paramapada. But this is the nature of Bhakti Yoga, how it is performed, process of Bhakti Yoga. And Bhakti Yoga, in Bhagavad Gita, there are 4 kinds of Bhakti Yogis told, who all practice Bhakti Yoga. Chaturvidha bhajante mam, janaha sukrutinaha, Arjuna. All Sukritis there, it is told. And some for wealth, some for mere self-experience. Some people say, I want to experience my pure self. That is my ultimate goal. But I will meditate on the Supreme Lord and pray for His grace so that He grants me the benefit of experiencing the self, individual self. Another person says, I will meditate on the Lord and then I want unlimited riches, like that. Another person says, I will meditate on the Lord. I want only the Lord, nobody else. I want to attain Him only. He is called Jnani. Artha, Artharthi, Jnani, Jignasu, Jnani, they are told. That means Bhakti Yoga can be. And Krishna says that because they are all coming and meditating on me and taking refuge in me, and they are praying for my grace for whatever benefit they want, I will also grant them the ultimate benefit after they experience whatever they want. Madbhakta yanti mamapi, he says. They also attain me in the end. Not only what they want, they also attain me in the end, he says. He will grant them that kind of a capability. So, one who is intent on attaining Supreme Lord only, Vasudeva, said to be a Jnani, is the most superior, is the superior of all bhaktas. Krishna says, even those who practice bhakti yoga for other benefits will ultimately get him. That is very nicely told in the Bhagavad Gita, and Ramanujacharya comments on that. A jnani who is not interested in anything other than attaining the Supreme Lord is most dear to the Lord. Jnani to atmaiva me matam. So various ways in which a jnani performs the bhakti yoga is expounded in great detail in bhakti yoga. So we are not going to those details. They are all told in the Bhagavad Gita in wonderfully in the sixth chapter, second set of six chapters, starting from 7th chapter to 12th chapter. Bhakti Yoga is expounded in great detail. First six chapters, Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga are told for self-realization. 7th chapter to 12, Bhakti Yoga is told. So we can, if one studies that, will know in great detail about that. So they are, the nature of the Bhakti Yogi is like that. Ananyaha chintayantaha mam. Ye janaha paryupasate yesham nityabhyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyam. Says, I will take care of their whatever ultimate benefit I will grant them. I will make sure it remains forever for them also. Yoga and kshema, it is told. Those people are who cannot live without thinking of me, for whom there is no other purpose. Ananyaha chintayanta. Ananyaha. They don't want anything else. They want to attain me only. Such great people meditate upon me, who is an abode to all the divine auspicious qualities. For such devotees who yearn to attain eternal union with me, I myself will take care of bestowing it on them and also protecting it forever. Because Supreme Lord is totally independent, Swatantra. He has the freedom. He has all the freedom. He has all the power, all the knowledge. Even then, he will not send him back to samsara. He is waiting to get a jnani to come and do service to him. That is what Shastras say. So this is the greatness of the jnani, that is just an example. And for Bhakti Yoga also, prapatti or surrendering unto the Lord is essential. Why that is essential means it is essential as an accessory. It is not a direct means for a Bhakti Yogi. The direct means to liberation is Bhakti Yoga only. And after that, ultimately, the grace of the Lord. But Bhakti Yoga or even Karma Yoga is so difficult to perform that there are so many obstructions to that. All the karmas that we have done from beginningless time, they are all obstructing our path to start Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, or anything. For any work, there are obstructions which we can experience every day. In order to eliminate all those obstructions, we have to pray to the Lord, surrender to the Lord. And then God, out of compassion, He says, I will get rid of all the obstructions. You start Karma Yoga, start Bhakti Yoga. So this is prapatti that is required as an accessory to all these Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga also. So many obstructions will be there. And then even after starting Bhakti Yoga, one has to meditate every single day, performing all the daily and ordained duties without leaving anything as told in the Shastra. As long as the result is gained, it may take several births. So for that, there will be many more obstructions on the way. They get diverted here and there. So many stories we see in Puranas. Saubhari, there was a rishi who was meditating underwater, and then he sees a family of fish, and then he gets a desire that he should also have a family like that. When he is meditating, doing Bhakti Yoga, he gets a desire like that. This is due to Purva Karma, Purva Janma Karma, the fruit of the Purva Karmas. And then he goes and marries 50 princesses of the king. And then he has 50 palaces he builds out of this, his power of the tapas Shakti. And for a long time he enjoys, and one day it dawns on him that I have wasted so much of time. I was meditating on the Supreme Lord and all that due to some purva karma, prarabdha karma. And he goes back to Bhakti Yoga, leaving all that. So this kind of distractions can happen. Obstructions will be there. So a Bhakti Yogi also have to surrender to the Lord and pray for elimination of all the obstructions to reach his ultimate goal. So for completion also there will be problem. All these things are Supreme Lord Sri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Aham tva sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shuchaha. There are several interpretations for this shloka. In Bhagavad Gita, it is told as an accessory to Bhakti Yoga. After teaching Bhakti Yoga, Krishna teaches this. When Arjuna gets a doubt that you have taught me Bhakti Yoga in great detail, but after I have listened to you, the nature of Bhakti Yoga, I don't think it is possible at all for me even to think of that, because there are so many obstructions to even start such a Bhakti Yoga. How can I even think of that? He says, don't worry, surrender unto me. I will eliminate all obstructions. You can start it. He says, that is what is the meaning told here briefly. And there are many other interpretations for that. Because otherwise what happens is, if I have to eliminate the obstructions, they are all papas which are preventing, sins which are preventing start of Bhakti Yoga or proper performance of Bhakti Yoga. In order to expiate the sins, one has to do prayashchittas told in the Vedas. There are many prayashchittas that are told, karmas, performance of which will eliminate certain sins. But how many will we do? How many sins have we got? How do we know? Any number of births, if we do also, we cannot eliminate it. So how long will you start doing? I myself will do all the prayashchittas and eliminate the sins? Not possible. So Krishna says, forget about all that. Surrender unto me. I will take care of that. Mamekam sharanam vraja. Aham tva sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shuchaha. So don't grieve that you cannot start Bhakti Yoga. I will make sure that you can start. And also, and it can be used for both. So that is how prapatti is also very much needed for Bhakti Yoga also. So this is the commentary of Ramanuja, one of the having perfected sannyasa and yoga, realizing that one gets joy with the knowledge of that one is only subservient to Lord and controlled by Him and performing all karmas as His worship. That is, He is the ultimate controller. He is the supreme Lord of everyone. And everyone is only subservient to Him. And perform karmas like that, giving up his ownership or his doership and desiring the fruits, etc. Then one gets, and performing it as a form of the worship of the Lord, one gets released from the fruits of the nature of good and bad, gets released from bondage of endless karma, which are obstructing his attainment, and attains him. This is after starting Bhakti Yoga, so that all the karmas have to be expended before getting the benefit. So this is explained in multiple ways in the Bhagavad Gita. When we study the commentary and all that, we can know in more detail, but we are not going to that much detail here. So this is in brief the nature of the Bhakti Yoga. So we saw so far Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga are accessories to Bhakti Yoga. Prapatti is an accessory to all of them. It is a must for everyone. And Nitya Naimitika Karmas, all of them have to do, perform. They cannot give up. So these are all some of the essential characteristics. And Bhakti Yoga itself ultimately will not give the benefits, but Bhakti Yoga will lead to getting the grace of the Lord towards us so that He will grant us the moksha. So ultimately, the Lord's grace is the thing that is important. The Lord's grace is the means, ultimate means. But in order to get His grace, we have to perform Bhakti Yoga or Prapatti. That is told in the Shastra. So that is about Bhakti Yoga. Now we will move to the other important means for moksha that is told in the Shastras, which is called Prapatti or Sharanagati or absolute surrender. So here, what is required is to knowledge of the Jivatma and Ishvara, that is the Supreme Lord, Sriman Narayana, and the relationship between him and us, etc., and lack of capability to perform Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga, qualification for Bhakti Yoga is one should be having the eligibility to study the Vedas. Secondly, they should have the capability to understand what is taught in the Upanishads as taught by an Acharya. It's very, very difficult. And to perform for as long as needed, several births if required, that capability should be there to perform the Bhakti Yoga, continuous meditation on a daily basis, every day, etc. And they should be able to tolerate the delay in getting moksha because it may take several births. So one should say that as long as it takes, I will do Bhakti Yoga. That tolerance should be there for delay. All these are qualifications for Bhakti Yoga. All of them should be there. If any of them is not there, they are disqualified for Bhakti Yoga. That disqualification is a qualification for Prapatti. What is disqualification for Bhakti Yoga becomes qualification for Prapatti. So one who is not qualified to perform Bhakti Yoga, the only other way to get liberation is Prapatti. There is no other way. And those who are qualified for Bhakti Yoga also can perform Prapatti as a direct means to liberation. That is the greatness of Prapatti that is told. So we will look at Prapatti. What is the nature of this self-surrender Prapatti? The Jivatmans are themselves utterly incapable of doing anything without the help of the Supreme Lord. We can realize it on a daily basis that whatever we want to do, nothing works. We think we are doing it, but we know that there is a force behind that, everything that we do. And whatever effort we put, things will not happen. So there is something behind that we know. There is a supreme force which is the cause of all that. And there is a regular pattern that the karma theory is working, also can be experienced. All the consequences of one's action one has to experience, either today or some other time, that everyone will realize sometime or the other, they would have realized in daily life. And Supreme Lord, the Shastra says, is impartial and has great compassion towards the suffering selves. So he is an impartial judge. He doesn't have any partiality towards anybody. And due to the sway of karma, cells identify themselves with their bodies and act accordingly. The feeling of I and mine are the main obstructions to liberation from the bondage of karma. Anatmani atma buddhihi asve swamitiya matihi. Vishnu Purana, it is told by Parashara that there are two things. Anatmani atma buddhihi, that which is not the Atman. We think that it is Atman. The body itself is the Atman. We think body is not the Atman. Asve swamitiya matihi, that which is not mine. We think it is mine. These are the two things which are making one to suffer in this samsara. They are the seed of samsara, it is told in Vishnu Purana. So because of this, we keep doing karmas, accumulating more fruits, and are born again and again to experience them. Whatever karmas we have done, the fruits only we have to experience. So for that, according to the fruits, whether it is good or bad, we get the proper, based on that, we get different bodies, association with different bodies, and then we experience in that body. They can perform karmas thinking that that body, I am the body, and according to the body that has got, one is born as an animal, they will start performing like an animal, a man, animal, or a god, whoever it is. According to that, they will perform acts and then again accumulate punya and papa, and then to experience that again they get another body. Like that it goes on. This is a cycle of samsara that is going on. And then this knowledge we have to experience, this we have to get first. So we need to understand about all these realities from acharyas only. So this is told very clearly by all our acharyas, Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, Shankaracharya. So very clearly states us. However intelligent one person is, one cannot read a book and then understand all this clearly with proper clarity, in proper way. Doubts will keep coming. So one has to resort to an acharya to learn this in a proper way. They teach us from the Vedas, and we are that we are utterly subservient to the Supreme Lord. The only way for us to save ourselves from this cycle of samsara is surrender unto the Lord and pray for protection. So especially in this Kali Yuga, where we have limited life, lifespan is very limited. Our capability is very limited. Capability to understand, learn is very limited. Jnana is limited. Shakti is limited. Capability to act is also limited. And then capability, and then with all that, we get all diseases, and then all the relatives and friends or their departures will cause us grief and all that. All these things are there in between all these things. When such a thing is happening, how can one think of even karma yoga, jnana yoga, or bhakti yoga? And we are forever, we are used to performing karma only. It's very easy to do karma, to do some work, very easy. To sit and think and meditate, most difficult. Even for 1 minute, we cannot concentrate on something. It's the most difficult. It needs a lot of practice, several years of practice to get such a concentration. So it is easy to do karma. So one keeps on doing karma only. And they get again caught in the samsara. So for this, for all these Vedanta, the first thing that is required is absolute faith in the Shastra and the Acharyas. And that one has to believe that there is a Supreme Lord. If we don't have belief in that, we will not put any effort. There is somebody who is controlling everything, somebody most powerful, most knowledgeable, Sarvajna, Sarvashakta, and all that. So that absolute faith is very important. For any area of knowledge, faith is a must. We can't see everything directly. Faith is required. We study books and then we believe in those things like that. And about the supernatural or the spiritual entities, the Vedas only are the valid means for us to understand. And one who should have absolute faith in what is told in the Vedas. With utter humility and having no other savior, if we surrender unto the Lord, He will definitely protect us. This is what is told in the Vedas. That is the essential nature of Prapatti. All systems of knowledge are aiming at achieving liberation from this suffering. Whether you see Sankhya, Yoga, Vaisheshika, Nyaya, Bauddha, Jaina, whatever darshana you take, Mimamsa, any darshana you take, what is the aim of all those darshanas? What is the aim of all those darshanas? Why the acharyas have put so much effort to write works, to explain things and all that, nature of realities and all those things? The ultimate goal is to get rid of this suffering. All of them teach you that this world is having only suffering, it will end in suffering only, though it may look like we may get some meager happiness, but it will ultimately end in again suffering. birth after birth like this. So they all come to help all the individuals to get rid of this suffering. But they have, based on their own experiences and knowledge, etc., at different times of time, different times, they have taught very sincerely what they understood and what they experienced. All the acharyas are great persons only. They all had a lot of knowledge, experience. They have put it their experiences and their knowledges in different ways, based on different times and their experiences. All sincerely they have put, not to misguide anybody. But it has evolved over a period of time like that. So in the system of Vishistadvaita, which is also one of the important darshanas, it is also found in the very Vedas itself. And that is established by Ramanujacharya in totality. And Sri Vedanta Deshika and other masters establish all these facts in detail based on the Vedas and the works of earlier masters. The concept of prapatti is not new at all. It is not something invented in Vishistadvaita. It is as old as the Vedas, accepted and taught by all great masters. Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya. Shankaracharya in the Gita Bhashya says very clearly, for Bhakti Yoga, Sagunopasana, you have to do for getting concentration. You have to surrender unto the Lord. Without that, you will not be able to do. Bhagavad Prapatti Mantarena Upapadyate. You cannot get without surrendering unto the Lord. He is told very clearly. So that is taught by everyone. Taught in Ramanujacharya, what he established is it is a direct means to liberation, is unique contribution of this system, Vishistadvaita. No other system says that this is a direct means to liberation. So that is the special contribution of Vishistadvaita to the world. And even for Bhakti Yoga, Prapatti is a must, as we saw, as an accessory. And the nature of Prapatti is well established in the Vedas. But Vedas being extremely difficult to understand, they tell a lot of things indirectly. Veda itself says, Paroksha Priya Vahi Devaha. They tell indirectly, Kashyapa Pashyako Bhavati. So, Pashyakaha Kashyapo Bhavati, like that. Pashyakaha means Kashyapa Pashyako Bhavati. Pashyakaha means one who sees everything is a Sarvajna. He sees everything directly and all that. But it is not told as Pashyaka, it's told as Kashyapa. They are interchanged and then it is told in a secret way, in a concealed way. Shruti is like that only. Shruti itself says like that. So that is why it is called Upanishad. It is one of the secret knowledge. Not easy to understand for everyone. So we need to study the Smritis, Upabrahmanas, Bhagavad Gita, Itihasa, Purana, all these, Srimad Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavata, Vishnu Purana, we find great detail with examples in these works about the great teachings, the truths revealed in the Vedas with practical examples. The Veda Upanishad themselves teach in many ways. Sadvidya Prakarana and Chandogya, in a very practical, demonstrable way, it is taught so wonderfully. But in Itihasa and Puranas, it is much more detailed. We can see, say, various characteristics of all these teachings, where many people practice that. Through that, we can see how it is done in great detail. And Prapatti is something which is, Srimad Ramayana is told to be Prapatti Shastra. From beginning to end, Prapatti is told in Sharanagati Shastra, it is told. Vedanta Deshika says, Srimad Ramayana is a Sharanagati Shastra, and Vibhishana Sharanagati part is like an Upanishad for that. So he has written a wonderful commentary on the Vibhishana Sharanagati part in Tamil, Sanskrit mixed language called Abhay Pradhan Sara. And it is expounded in most wonderfully in Srimad Ramayana, the nature of Prapatti. So we are studying this, we can understand in more detail. And it is clearly established that even if one does not have complete knowledge about Prapati, one can approach an Acharya with absolute faith. We don't see the Supreme Lord here. We cannot perceive him, but we see our Acharyas. We move around with them. We spend time with them. We know how it is. That's very, very important. That is why in the Upanishads, people, seekers, go and spend years and years with the Acharyas, and nobody would teach them directly. They will test them for a long time and then only teach them. They don't even teach for a long time like that. And Indra and Virochana went to Prajapati for knowing, understanding the nature of the individual self. Prajapati didn't even speak to them. They stayed for them 33 years. After that, he asked them, "Why have you come?" Says, we want to know about the nature of the self. So he tells first step that body itself is the Atman, he teaches. And then they go back. After that, Indra on the way back thinks, no, this cannot be true. He said Atman is unchanging and all that, without any defects. The body undergoes changes and all that. So he comes back. Then ask him, why have you come back? Prajapati asks Indra. He says, you told like this, it doesn't seem to be proper to me. He says, stay for another 33 years, then I will tell you. So you have to inquire, you have to go and ask, you have to think about yourself, and then with proper logic and all that, and then seek, and then they will again serve the master, the teacher for a long time, then only they will teach you. Like that, all the stories are like that in the Upanishads. They are tested like anything before. It's not very easy to gain such knowledge. Great difficulty seekers have gone and very sincerely served and understood. So the acharyas are like that. Even today we can see acharyas who are very sincere, dedicated, knowledgeable. They perform their daily duties sincerely, completely. So we can spend time with them, understand. We don't have to understand in great depth for Prapatti. We get ultimate faith in the Acharya. We can perform Prapatti through them. That is also there in our Sampradaya, Vishistadvaita system. It is established. That is a very important aspect. And they teach us, of course, essential aspects and perform it on behalf of us before doing it. Though it is taught in the Vedas, everyone without any distinction is eligible to adopt this means. There are many objections to whether this Prapatti can be a direct means to liberation, which are all answered in the works of Bhagavad Ramanuja and Vedanta Deshika especially. He has written many, many works only to bring more clarity on Prapatti and to defend the fact that Prapatti is a direct means to liberation, and it is an alternative to Bhakti Yoga. Very clearly, it has been established in great detail by Vedanta Deshika. It can be adopted by anyone because Vedas have got two kinds of dharmas: Vishesha Dharma, Samanya Dharma. Samanya Dharma means it is applicable to everyone. Vishesha Dharma is a particular station in life, Varna Ashrama. So a Grihastha can do only this, a sannyasi can do only this, like that. It is particularly what is taught in the Vedas, all are taught. Those people who are in those stations in life, they have to choose only that. But Samanya Dharma is applicable to everyone. Nahim syat sarva bhutani. One should not injure anyone. That is for all. It is not just for a particular varnashrama. Satyam bruyat. That is also like that. One should speak the truth. So these are all called Samanya Dharmas. Prapatti is also like that, Samanya Dharma. So though it is in the Vedas, anyone can adopt it. And so it is another means to liberation taught in the Veda. The Rig Veda, we get thousands of references to Prapatti. Vayamindra, I have just extracted few of them, couple of them. Vayamindra tvayavaha sakitvam arabhamahe. Tvayavaha is a very powerful word used in the Rig Veda. Tvayavaha, tvameva ichu. We desire only you. Tvayavaha means we desire only you. We don't want anything else. Sakitva means Sharanagati, absolute surrender. Sakitvam arabhamahe. And then Tomasmakam Tavasmasi. So it says the relation between you are our Lord and we are subservient to you. Very clearly told. Bhuishtante namavuktim vidhema. Namaha is namaskaratmakam yasmai vidhaya atma nivedanam. There is a Mantraraja Pada Stotra sung by Rudra in praise of Lord Nrsimha, where it shows Namaha is Atma Nivedana. It's absolute self-surrender. So Rigveda tells Namaha in many, many mantras it is coming. Now Mama Syam, even Narayana Vasyam is a nirukti for that. So these are all just a few examples. And in the Shvetashvatara Upanishad, Sarvasya Sharanam Suhrut. Sharanam means upaya, means. Is a means to all, it's without any distinction. It's not told only for this particular category or anything like that. And then Mumukshurvai Sharanamaham Prapadye. One who is desirous of moksha, I choose you as the means and then surrender myself unto you. Prapadye is surrendering. Sharanam is means, upaya. Sharana Shabda, it has got many meanings. It is the meaning of upaya here, means. And Mundakopanishad also talks, Pranavo Dhanuhu Sharohi Atma Brahmatallakshya Muchyate Apramattena Vedhavyam Sharavat Tanmayo Bhavet. It is very clearly told, all these things are told that Brahman is a single goal. Just as an arrow aimed at the goal, that means utmost concentration will reach that like that. The bow is Pranava, self is the arrow, and it should reach the goal Brahman. So this is for told. These are all told like this. This can be applied to Upasana also, Sharanagati also. So Prapatti or Sharanagati is one among the 32 Brahma Vidyas in the Brahma Sutra Bhashya of Bhagavad Ramanja's celebrated Bhashya is called Sri Bhashya. For that there is a very detailed commentary by Sudarshana Suri called Shuddha Prakashika. In that there is a sutra called Nana Shabdadi Bhedat. Nana Shabdadi Bhedat. There are many Brahma Vidyas. And because there is all Shabda, name and other things are different, there are different aspects told in Mimamsa Shastra that what are the things that Rupa and Akhya and all those things have to be there. Some Akhya, Rupa, some Yoga. All these have to be there to distinguish one karma from another karma. Jaimini establishes in the Purva Mimamsa Shastra how to distinguish the karmas as different, whether it is same or different, etc. That the same way, the Brahma Vidyas are also told, they are all different. 32 Vidyas are there, but they all have the same benefit, same fruit. They all lead to moksha only. So in that Nana Shabdadi Veda commentary, Prapati is also told as one of the Brahma Vidyas there. So that is established very clearly. And so this is, it has, like Bhakti Yoga and Prapati, we will just do a comparison to understand how it is different and all those things. So we will explore the nature of Prapati in little more detail in the next session, as we have already come to the end of this session. And I've just given a brief intro about Prapati today. We will talk about it in more detail in the next session. With that, I offer my pranamams and conclude today's session. Ram Shri Krishna Arpanamastu, and leave the class open in a minute for any questions.
Swami, a person who is doing Bhakti Yoga should not do Prapatti, yeah?
Yeah, because both have got the same benefit. Why will anybody do, how can they do parallelly two for the same benefit? Because and this benefit is not like other karmas like Swarga and others which are transient, which are limited in time. For example, Ashwamedha Yaga, one person is doing, he will get a Swarga, he gets to enjoy, go to Swarga and enjoy for a particular time. Parallelly, he can also do Vajpaya Yaga also. He will get another term in some other Swarga. That's the benefit of that. And these are all ending sometime. They are all eternal, not eternal. They end. So because of that, after it ends, he wants one more time, they can do perform. But moksha is not like that. Bhakti yoga, the means, the benefit that comes, and bhakti yoga ends, you will get liberated. No more connection with prakriti, the matter. So he will never return back here to perform any other means. So for the same benefit, you cannot do two in parallel because the benefit is the same. So vikalpaha vishistaphalatva. There is a Brahma Sutra which says there is choice of Brahma Vidyas. 32 Brahma Vidyas are there. Among them, one has to be chosen and performed. Like that, Prapati is also one. So any one you can choose because that once the benefit comes, it ends and you are out of this world. After that, there is no return. It's a one-way ticket. You cannot come back and say, I will perform one more Brahma Vidya. You have got eternal benefit. There is nothing superior to that. So that is the nature of Bhakti Yoga. So it is different from other karmas in that way.
Another thing, Swami, both have to do Nitya Naimitya Karma, no? In case one is doing
Absolutely.
property,
Absolutely.
that is
Absolutely.
mandatory before doing this. Achha.
Absolutely.
And
As long as one is associated with the body, one has to do Nitya Naimitya karmas, whatever means he is adopting. As long as association with body is there, one cannot avoid Nitya Naimitya karmas. He is established in the Vishistadvaitic system very clearly.
And Vishesha Dharma and Samana Dharma also one has to follow.
Yeah, of course.
Oh.
No doubt about it.
So this Prapatti is one Brahma Vidya.
Yeah.
So can we say that Karma Yoga is another Brahma Vidya, Jnana Yoga is another, Bhakti Yoga is another?
Bhakti Yoga, you can say another Brahma Vidya. Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga are not independent means to directly moksha. They give through Bhakti Yoga. So they are accessory to Bhakti Yoga. So they are not independent means. Bhakti Yoga is the independent means for moksha. So Karma Yoga is an accessory to Bhakti Yoga. It's a part of that.
But when you say that for Bhakti Yoga, Prapatti becomes accessory means.
Accessory.
So this means when we practice Prapatti as an accessory means to Bhakti Yoga, then Prapatti is not a Brahma Vidya.
No, it is used as an accessory only. See, even Bhakti Yoga can be used for gaining riches, for gaining material benefits. Bhakti Yoga can be used for moksha also. So these means can be used for any benefit. Similarly, Prapatti also can be used for any benefit. You can use it as an accessory Bhakti Yoga to eliminate all the obstructions to starting Bhakti Yoga, or you can use it directly to get liberation itself. It is one's choice.
Will we also learn the 32 Brahma Vidyas in this course?
No, we are not going to go into those details. For that, Upanishads have to be studied.
Okay, so this means we only focus mainly on one Brahma Vidya and not on two parallel.
No, Bhakti Yoga is a general name for Brahma Vidya. All the 32 Brahma Vidyas are Bhakti Yogas only. So just a general nature of the Brahma Vidya we have learnt here. What is the general nature of the Brahma Vidya? That it is undiluted, continuous meditation on the Supreme Lord and all those things and all. So it is just a general introduction.
We will also not see what are the 32 Brahma Vidyas, like this is one, like as an overview.
That is, no, that is not a part of this course. This is just an introductory course, so we're not going to too much detail of that.
Swami?
Yeah.
Yeah. So my question is, you have done Prapatti as a means to attain moksha, but still you can practice bhakti, not in terms of bhakti yoga, but you can do bhakti to Paramatma in the sense that...
Absolutely. It is a must and it has to be done also. Okay. Without bhakti, you cannot do prapatti. Without prapatti, you cannot do bhakti. So both are mutually helpful. Yeah.
But we are not doing bhakti as a means to...
Absolutely. Very moksha. Right. Very right.
Okay.
Very right. Yeah.
That's one
But
thing.
property is
Sec-
more important for
yeah,
moksha.
second thing, let me finish my question, sir.
Yeah.
The second thing is there is a term that is often being used as Bhakti Upapanna Jnana. So, what exactly that means, Swamiji?
Bhakti Rupa Panna Jnana.
Bhakti
Bhakti
Rupa
Rupa
Panna
Panna
Jnana.
Jnana. Bhakti Rupa Panna Jnana means the Jnana which has taken the form of Bhakti. Bhakti Rupa Panna Jnana. The Jnana which has taken the form of Bhakti. Jnana is Shastra Janya Jnana. So we studied the Upanishads and understand, and that has the meanings of that have to be put to practice by meditation.
I see. And then in the Sharanagati Deepika, there is a shloka Yogyam Yamaishya Niyamaishya Vidhaya Chittam Santa Jitasanataya Swavashasvargaha. It goes like that.
Yeah.
So there the Ashtanga Yoga has been prescribed as a
Correct.
means of so
Bhakti
the
Yoga has Ashtanga Yoga. Bhakti Yoga is Ashtanga is a part of Bhakti Yoga. The
I see.
meditation, lot I said, for example, sadhana saptaka, which I said, the control of the indriyas, the sense organs, no, vimoka, viveka, vimoka, abhyasa, kalyana, and all that, they are all perfected through Ashtanga Yoga only. So the difference from Ashtanga Yoga is it is not the Ashtanga Yoga taught in the same way as Patanjali Yoga Shastra, because there the goal of meditation is the individual self, nature of the individual self in Patanjali Yoga Shastra. Here, the Samadhi, one meditates on the Supreme Lord, not on the Jivatma. He
Ada Viloka
realizes,
Yanti.
yeah, the goal is
Yeah.
different.
I see. But the Yama, Niyama,
All
etc.
that are necessary. They are all part of Bhakti Yoga. When we study Brahma Sutras, we study it in great detail, but not in the introductory course. It is too much going into detail. So I have not included all those details here. Just given a very brief intro into this. Brahma Sutras, when you study, you will go into more details of all those things.
But the other question I had, Swami, was the Jnana Yoga leads to Atma Sakshatkara or Atma
Yes.
Avalokana. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, in what way this Atma Sakshatkara is different from the Advaitic perspective?
It is very different. In Advaitic perspective, Atma is Brahma only. So, and then it is not Atma Sakshatkara cannot happen there because you cannot know Brahman in the Advaitic system, what is established. It is Avachya and Avedya and all that. Vachyatva, Vedyatva is not there. So you have to just eliminate the Avidya. That itself is moksha. That's all. Brahman will be shining all as originally it was there, and it is pure jnana. And Shuddha Muddha, Shuddha Bad Mukta, Sachidananda. It is Chinmatra Swarupa. So that is very different. Advaita, it is very different.
Very different.
Jnana is the ultimate there. Bhakti is the second step. Karma and jnana, karma and bhakti are preliminary to jnana. Karma and bhakti will give them purity of mind and concentration of the mind, and they are means to attaining the jnana. And then when the Vakyartha Jnana itself, the enlightenment happens there. It goes off, avidya gets eliminated. So that kind of their approach is very different there, based on the
Bhagavad Dhyana Sopanam.
yeah.
Bhagavad Dhyana Sopanam.
Thank you, Swamiji. I have still a lot of doubts in that understanding the difference between the Atma Sakshatkara of, maybe I can call you offline and try to understand that a little more.
Yeah, you can do that. No problem.
Thank you, Swami. Thank you.
Because here, just an introduction, you should generate interest to go and study some works in more detail. That is the purpose of this course, just to get an idea about what is Vishistadvaita and all those things.
There is also this avidya, karman, and Vishistadvaita.
Avidya is a general term which has got different meanings in different systems. So, in the Vishistadvaitic system, it is karma only. Avidya karma samjnanya tritiya shakti uchyate is told in Vishnu Purana. So based on that, avidya is karma. For Vishistadvaita, in Vishistadvaita,
Yeah.
avidya is nothing but karma. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I will take it offline, Swamiji, because
Sure.
still I have other questions. I'll call you sometime when when it is convenient for you.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. You can
Okay,
send me a message and find out a good
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Thanks, Swamiji. Thanks.
Swami,
Yeah.
please,
Any other questions? No, nothing else. I'll conclude today's session. From Shri Krishna.
Swami, what is Avidya according to Vishistadvaita? Please